Noah, and today we're going to make another Korean traditional dish called japchae. So, what is japchae? Japchae is a Korean traditional noodle dish made with sweet potato noodles like this. And we mix this with a lot of different types of vegetables and meat. There are basically three components to it: the noodles and veggies and meat and the sauce. So I'll quickly go through the ingredients that you guys need to prepare. Firstly, you will need the sweet potato noodles. It comes in dried form like this. You can find them anywhere in Korean groceries. And in terms of vegetables, I'm going to use lots of different types, including spinach and some capsicum, half a carrot, onion, and I like some spice, so I'm going to use some chili, and I'm going to use these two different types of mushrooms. One is shiitake mushroom and this is black fungus mushroom, but mine's just a lighter version, and I'm going to use some spring onions. In terms of mushrooms, you can use any mushrooms, you can use fresh ones. I'm using dried ones and that's why I soak them overnight. But you can use button mushrooms, you can use enoki mushrooms, anything. So you guys just get hold of whatever you guys can. And I'm going to use about 200 grams of beef, which I'll season prior to making all this later. And we need some sauce. Soy sauce, of course, sesame oil, black pepper, sugar, rice, cooking wine, and some sesame seed. The very first thing I'm going to do is to season the beef. You can skip this step, but if you do season all the components, then you'll get a much better, deeper and polished flavor at the end in the final product. Firstly, I'm going to slice the beef quite thinly. Now I'm going to season the beef with some garlic, half a teaspoon of soy sauce, about a tablespoon of sesame oil, and about a teaspoon of the rice wine. Give it a bit of a mix. Now the beef is ready, I'm going to chop up the vegetables. I'm gonna boil my spinach now. Turn up the heat as soon as you put in the spinach so it boils. Spinach takes literally half a minute to be done. Run the spinach under cold water. See, that was a lot of spinach, but we only have a handful of it now. Give it a big squeeze. I'm just gonna give it a bit of a chop. So now we are ready to cook our meat and vegetable. I'm going to cook my meat first. On a heated pan, put a little bit of oil. Put in your seasoned meat. The meat is all cooked now, so I'm gonna set it aside. On the same pan, I'm going to cook the veggies. First, put the spring onion and let this infuse with the oil. So once you can smell the aroma of the spring onions, you put in onions. Once the onions are all separated and start to cook, put your carrot and the capsicum. Traditionally, we fry each ingredient separately, but nowadays not many people do that. Now I think it's time to put chili. Give it another stir. And mushroom. Looking very healthy. I'm going to season it with a bit of salt. You don't want to overcook these veggies. Here you can see I'm not caramelizing the onions, just cooking it until it's transparent. It's all about texture in japchae. And of course the flavor. I think that's ready. You can put veggies aside. Make sure you spread it out a little bit so the steam gets out. And while that's cooling down, I'm going to cook the noodles. Make sure your water is boiling. Run it under cold water. So to mix everything, you can either put everything into a bowl and just mix with the sauce, but I prefer to just do it in a pan. That way the sauce gets absorbed into the noodles and the vegetables better, so it will taste better. So on a pan, I've already put my cooked noodles and a tablespoon of sugar and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I'm just gonna let this absorb all the sauce, all my veggies. I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of soy sauce and half a tablespoon of sugar, about a tablespoon of sesame seeds, some black pepper. Of course, we need lots of sesame oil. Okay, let's serve it up. This is a lot of japchae. Okay, let's eat. Cheers. The beef should be cold. My fridge is not cold enough.
Good. Smells good. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is really good.
Yummy.
Wow. Do you know that japchae is my favorite food?
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you do.
Since when? I knew you liked it, but
Oh, it's one of my favorite foods.
bad idea.
How can you store them?
You just store it in a container. The next day you just reheat it either on a pan. Of course, if you reheat it on a pan, it's much nicer. If not, just microwave and eat it. Koreans love this thing called japchae, which means japchae plus rice. So you eat this as almost like a side dish. This is yummy.
This is really good. Really, really good. I need to have it with some rice and some kimchi.
Kimchi? You say you don't want kimchi.
Gonna have it with this rice. Mom's rice. Fried rice is amazing.
So with japchae, it's important not to overcook the veggies because the whole point is the noodles chewy and each veggies crunchy. You feel like you're chewing all the time. And the sauce is like salty but sweet, and the sesame oil just adds that extra smoothness and the flavor.
I don't think it's salty at all. I think it's perfect.
You know, like sometimes in restaurants when you eat japchae, it's oily, it's a bit greasy. If you make it at home, it's really nice. It's like no grease in there, and you know what you're putting in there. It's all good stuff.
Yep. And it looks glossy, but it's not greasy at all.
Guys, so that was how to make japchae. Japchae is a must-have dish in any Korean party, so please try making it. It is very simple to make, as you can see, and it's really delicious. So please try it, and I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you stay healthy, and please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and see you next week. 안녕!